What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this video is should Angie keep helping Tasha? First, I want to give a thanks and a special shout out to everybody that supported me on Patreon. Without your support, I wouldn't be still doing this. And also those that support me on PayPal, I appreciate all your support and constant feedback and comments. Everybody, please subscribe to my channel and click that like button if you enjoyed the video, and let's get into it. In episode 1, we see Angie. She's up top in the beginning, and she like grabbing her chest in a panic attack mode because she can't believe that Raymond Jones is probably dead, Ray. And then she starts having a flashback about Sax, talking about, if my daughter was dead, I definitely want revenge. And so now she's thinking, dang, maybe Ghost did go and kill him. And then she's remembering when she confronted him and he was leaving and he was in the bag, and she said, what's in the bag? And he like, nothing, just clothes. And so she's thinking like maybe that was guns in there. And then she's remembering that Tasha came into her office and saying, yeah, I need your help. No police involved. And she said, Ghost said you cloned the phone. And so now she's starting to hit home, and she feeling used and like she got played or whatever. And so she's, you know, having a panic attack, holding her heart, mi corazón. And so she's trying to get it together, wrap her head around what's going on. And the main thing is that a lot of this is her fault. And then she starts thinking about Sax, and he like, yeah, if it is St. Patrick, he's going to try to make a move. And when he does, it'll be the perfect time to get him. And so now she's thinking, man, maybe he didn't make the move, but maybe that was his move. Maybe we could have got him. Maybe it's all my fault. Now I'm implicated. She's got all kind of stuff going through her head. You know, she want to be Dudley Do-Right. And then Officer Al Be Sure, he come up and he starts asking her some questions and wanting her to come and talk to her about what's going on. Because for one, why is a federal prosecutor there? She had no business going there. She made matters worse just by her being there, first of all. Then when he was talking to her on the steps on the way down, he was asking her, he said, hey, normally these suits ain't no good. He's talking about the plainclothes police, regular suit police uniform. And he's saying, but they said you found the bullet yourself. So why don't you go on record for me? Why don't you go on record in case this becomes a murder investigation? And I got you on record as a witness that you found the bullet and that you was here and, you know, regular procedure. And she like, well, no, I was here to see Officer Raymond Jones, and since he's not here, there's no need for me to go on record. You can let everybody else take the credit. And so she didn't want to be involved. If you didn't want to be involved, why did you go there? That was so stupid, Angie. And then while she was talking to Al B, she didn't know that she was being watched by Internal Affairs, who also was another Puerto Rican, you know, lawmaker, police officer, copper, whatever you want to call it. And so she's investigating, and so she's trying to find out what Angie was up to. And so Angie, she pretty much throw Al B a curveball, and so Officer Al B ain't know how to hit it right, so she ended up walking out of there instead of him holding her to the fire about what she just did and what she was doing there. And she knows that she messed up by being there, because in the elevator she kind of did a little sigh of relief, huff puff, whatever, and she like knows she getting herself deeper in the mess. And so she hopped in her ride and she left, but she didn't know that while she was pulling off, that the investigation was cranking up on her, because at the same time, Internal Affairs, J-Lo, she was asking Al B, who was that in the heels? And he like, oh, that's the feds. They came down here. Angela Valdez, he done gave her name up and everything. And then he told her, you know, she was there, she found the bullet hole or whatever the case. Why would Angie go there and find the bullet hole if all she's gonna have to end up doing is try to cover it up in the end? I mean, what was she trying to do? What was she trying to prove? That's what I don't get. That don't make any sense. And so when she left from that scene, she went straight to talk to Tasha. Okay, And so now she talking to Tasha, and she's asking Tasha about how Tasha set her up, and what happened with Raymond Jones. You sent me over there. I gave you the information. You had me give you everything you needed. You know that you saying it was Tariq's phone, but it wasn't Tariq's phone. And Tasha like, I don't know what you talking about. Then she started questioning her like she was one of the kids. Remember when you came to the office? Remember Raymond Jones? I told you he was questioning, looking into Tariq. Remember this? Remember that? And she like, yeah, I think James killed him, and you used me to get the information. It wasn't Tariq's phone you was looking for. It was Raymond Jones' phone. She like, no, it was Tariq's phone. She like, yeah, right. Yeah, Raymond Jones had Tariq's phone, then that's what it is. And she like, no, that's not it. So Tasha wants to be honest with her, but she can only say so much until Angie finally says, you know what, I'm gonna have to turn you all in, and I'm gonna have to confess about what I know. And that's when Tasha was like, Tariq shot him. And then Angie like, what? Tariq? Like, because Angie, she still knows that he stole her gun and that he was borderline a good kid from what she know, and now he's kind of went downhill ever since she been involved in their life, as far as she knows. And so then Tasha like, yeah, Tariq shot him. I was trying to stop him. I was trying to get to him, but I wasn't able to in time. And she like, what? So Tariq, so she tripping about Tariq for a brief second. And Tasha like, look, don't worry about it. I got rid of all the evidence. I got rid of everything. It's nothing for you to worry about. And that's when Angie was like, no, you don't get it. That stuff, when we raided your house, we took your gun and ran ballistics on it. That stuff is on file. We have that information. You say he took your gun and killed him, then you know that information is on file, and it's only a matter of time before they trace that bullet back to your gun and pretty much back to you guys. And so Tasha's like, well, how much time do we have before they trace the gun back? And so she's like 24, 30 hours. And so she like, well, is it any way you can get that information? And so Angie is like, well, you want me to do this, you want me to do that. It's your fault anyway, Angie. What you run her gun for anyway? What you do that raid for? You just wanted to go in their house. Now you went there to find the bullet. What would you do in there, Angie? This is all brought upon on Angie, all on her own. But nevertheless, they show her, next time they show her, she's in her office at her computer, and she's about to type in her name for the authorized access to get in there. But then she stops, catches herself, and thinks about maybe this could be traced back to her. So she put D. Gaines, who is the young black dude, Eddie Munster looking dude that was used to call her toxic or whatever. She used his login. I don't know how she got his login memorized, but nevertheless, she logged in under him, of all people, the one guy that's been there for her and been nice to her. And so she ends up finding the item, and she sees that it's registered to Tasha St. Patrick, and that they have it logged in. She was about to delete it, and but she's second guessing herself. She should have got rid of it as quick as possible instead of waiting around, because you don't know who else could be looking at that file or passing it along at that same moment. And right when she was about to click it, her boss walked in and started questioning her and asking her, hey, we tried to call you yesterday. It was a matter of importance. Where were you? We gave you a phone just for these particular reasons, and you didn't answer it. Is everything okay? Is there a problem? And so Angie, she's like, oh no, I didn't know. I was at home. I was tired. It's no problem. She like, are you sure? Because you know, we needed to get in contact with you. And she like, oh, I'm positive. Everything's fine. Just tired. I just went home and went to sleep, which was a stupid lie, because people know where she was and they saw her. Just because she wasn't on record doesn't mean it may never come back to her. And so then she like, okay. And she like, what was the matter at hand? And she like, oh, I forgot. And so that right there shows that there's a lack of trust that the boss has for Angie. And then Angie decides not to delete it. And so right when the boss walks out, she's talking to Saks Fifth Avenue over here, Saks, and she's saying, keep Maria away from Angie because I don't trust her. While they was talking, we see Internal Affairs walking right into her office. So Angie is playing a dangerous game right now, and she's very close to getting caught up because she's a horrible liar, and her moral compass is actually not built for this. And so the DA come in, and she's like, Angela Valdez. She like, yeah. She like, yeah. I was just coming to talk to you. I saw you at the murder investigation of Raymond Jones. And she like, normally I don't see $400 heels at a crooked cops possible death scene, crime scene. And she like, oh yeah. She like, yeah, it's good to see another Boricua pretty much in power. That's what she said to her in Spanish. And so Angie trying to give her the cold shoulder, pretty much not telling her too much, because Angie knows she playing with fire now that she got internal affairs up her butt. And so normally she only deal with, she's the one on top as the prosecutor. Now she's pretty much getting interrogated, and she don't like it. And the way that she gets rid of the girl, she don't even know how to get rid of her properly like anybody else. And so she's talking to her, and she's prying into Angie and asking her, did she meet Raymond Jones? And she like, unfortunately, we never met. I wasn't able to meet him. And that right there is another horrible lie. She could have said that she met him, or that, she only spoke briefly and gave him a card, something, but she's leaving too many lies that she can't back out of. And so the internal affairs lady, Angie, get up, say, yeah, I got a meeting I'm running late for, I'm sorry. Pretty much try to push her out the door, which also is a telltale sign that you guilty, something must be up. And so internal affairs, she play it cool, but in a way she wouldn't probably be looking at Angie anyway. I mean, that was out of place for her to be there, but she investigating cops, and she's a federal prosecutor, so why would she be there trying to I mean, it's just a real tricky situation between everybody overstepping their boundaries and being in places that they don't belong, and investigating and doing jobs that are not their jobs. Like Angie had no business being there and looking at Ray Ray's apartment. That was no reason for her. But anyway, after she leaves, the next time we see her is she's going to talk to Tasha, and Tasha like, well, is it done? Did you do it yet? And Angie talking about, no, not yet. Tasha like, what the F are you waiting for? What are you taking so long for? And Angie tried to explain her about the databases and the different stuff and all of that, which she had a point, but Angie could have deleted it already. She had a chance. She saw it was only logged in to their side, and it wasn't logged in to the federal side yet. And so Tasha like, look, you need to do this and clean this up. I didn't want to be in this spot. I didn't want none of us here, but we're here now. And she like, why did you ask me? She like, because I knew that you still loved him. She like, no, you didn't. And she like, plus you owe me for taking my husband away, which Tasha, she didn't take him away from Ghost. Ghost didn't want to be with you no more. He left. You can't take something that don't want to leave. That go for everybody. And so Angie said she don't love Ghost no more, because Tasha said, yeah, you do. And then she said, and then the kids, I had 3 kids that was alive. Now I got 2. The woman that cared if you was cheating on her husband don't even exist no more, this and that. So what, because one child dead, forget the other 2? That's what you saying, Tasha? A lot of stuff Tasha said didn't make sense. But nevertheless, she was on point and stressing the urgency that Angie does it. And Angie tried to say, if I do it, it's for the kids. She like, no, and for you too. Try to let her know you'll be saving your ass too, not just my kids. And so Angie, she kind of a little salty. She looking up to the sky, realizing she got herself into a whole world of mess. And what we end up seeing later in that episode is that she's sitting at the computer, just look like she got a deep thought, contemplating what's going on. And once again, they asking her, are you going to delete this file, confirm or cancel? And we see that she clicks confirm. They even show her finger do the clicking, like the yellow pages, let your fingers do the walking. And so She click it, and then the next screen that we see after she click it is file successfully deleted. So she did delete that. But should she have done that for Tasha? She's gotten herself deeper and deeper in this mess. She talking about she would have to confess. Actually, no, you don't. You don't have to say anything. You could just let that just twist in the wind, and you could say, I don't know nothing about it. Why you gotta say you told Tasha where they was? You don't. She doesn't have to say that. She didn't have to say that she even talked to Tasha that day at all. If they were to find that bullet and it was traced back to Tasha gun, she could have just let them come up with whatever they was going to come up with. She didn't have to inject herself in there that she told Tasha any dang on thing. And so that's why I don't understand why she even went there in the first place. What was she trying to do? What was she trying to stop or solve? It just makes no sense. And so my opinion is that she shouldn't be helping Tasha, and that she shouldn't even have been getting involved in this. She doesn't have to. She's injecting herself in a situation she doesn't need to, and I just think it's just real stupid on Angie's part. But in the end, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.